Greetings, everyone. It is I, Kikoskia, welcoming you to a stream. The pre-stream, to be exact, where you have the opportunity to get here, get comfortable, and get ready for me loading the game up while I have a sweet to deal with my sore throat. Because my throat's a bit sore. Don't mind the sound of the sweet. Oh yeah, we're also playing King of the Castle. Hello, Godly here. Hello, Ziggy Zaff. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's hope my throat can survive for 3 hours of streaming. That is the hope. Hello, Nuclear Jack. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Notorogia. Hope you're also doing well. Hope things are good. Thank you. It's not too terrible, but I just want to make sure it doesn't get worse. It's a fancy sweet. It's got lemon and honey in it. I might be here too this time. Hooray! So yeah, last time, things didn't go very well. It's not a drink, it's a sweet. Hello, Black Rabbit. How you doing? So yes, the Grandees may end up getting a second win this time round if they end up supporting the Monarch. Oh yeah, things went not that great. Then I lost a 90% roll to win the game, and then we lost to a rebellion, which was exciting to watch. And now we have the Grandees having their ruler on the throne, which I presume will mean that the Grandees will support their monarch so that they can get another win. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful art vibe. Apologies, as I say, for the sound of the sweet. I am trying to keep the throat working properly. Ear, nose, and throat are all connected, and my ears aren't the best they could be anyway, so yeah, it's exciting. Very exciting. But I hope you were all doing well. See? You are... See, the thing is, if you help out, you end up, you know, with the monarch in your pocket for the next 15 years. Hello, Andy. How you doing? And don't you want that? Sadly, they won't nuclear. It is, for the most part, a condition that is not going to go away. No, it's fine. You see, the ironic thing is, if I hadn't have said that there was something wrong with my voice, you wouldn't have asked me if something was okay. Hello, Deus. How you doing? Everything's fine. Just throat's a little bit dry. You do sound different, though. I don't think I do. Because I was listening to myself this morning editing my videos, and I sounded fine. It's that perception thing of, I told you something is different, therefore you will start to perceive things as different. Like, everyone has, like, variations of voice. I mean, if you compare my voice to how it sounded 16 years ago, it will sound very different, despite me being the same. But it's not tired voice, it's slightly ill. It is slightly ill. Very minorly ill. So it's a good thing I picked a really, really talky game to stream for 3 hours. Oh dear, I picked a really talky game to stream for 3 hours. We'll see how it goes. Hello, Linguistic. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, wouldn't have noticed you if you didn't say anything. Exactly. Exactly. If you want to hear me when I'm really unwell, oh boy, there are times when I have had the flu, and I am still recorded and streamed. Because I have to, and oh boy do I sound awful in those videos. Hey old dragon, but guess what? Still had to record, still had to work. Thank you for the ham, good sir. I am indeed a thing. This is true. This is very true, Spook. I am indeed a thing. But undead Kiko. Not undead, just ill. I'm alright, mostly. No! That's just tradition, old dragon. We always drop the new ruler in the river. It always happens. Every time we drop the ruler in the river. You had a cold when recording the Secret Monkey Island, didn't you? No. No, I just have things that mean that my nose is generally terrible. Now here's a fun fact. I can't blow my nose. It just doesn't work like that. I might have done. I don't know. It was so many years ago, I don't remember. I don't remember. I've recorded over 10,000 videos over nearly 16 years. I do not remember what I said in most of them. Oh, I did. I unequivocally sounded different. What's this? This is King of the Castle, a game where it is all of the counts in the various like places that I rule working against me. However, the grandees are probably likely to work with me because they put the current monarch on the throne. To be fair, the pre-stream is typically when strange topics go on. Also tomorrow, I'm going to be recording the first videos of Stray. That'll be fun. Grandee's working with you so a newly installed monarch doesn't become granddad. Exactly! I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise, Deus. It was voted on. By people. You did make a vote. Yes, but today is Monday, so it's different. That is a problem. You do have to foil the grandees. I mean, I wish you luck, Alias, in the donations. Better you than me in that regard, what with my crippling fear of needles. No thanks. I know, but I just couldn't. It wouldn't be something I'd be able to do. This last week, the Grandies did win, yes. I rolled a 90% chance to win the game and failed. This happens 10% of the time. 10% of the time you roll a 1. Rather than any other number. This is a thing. You get actual gamer group wins without a revolution. Maybe. Maybe. Hello, Sabrook. I hope you're doing well. We're at that point, by the way, with the hard sweep, where the inner, like, filling is gone. It's just the shell. That's mostly gone now, though. No more sweets, however. Can't have any while I'm streaming the actual game proper. No, it's not impossible. Difficult, but not impossible. I have managed it a good few times now. It especially is a thing when someone is on your side. Not the first time to win? Yes, yes it was. What kind of sweet? It's something for my throat. So, not especially a delicious one. But it is one that needed to be done. Yeah. Not the best sweet in the world. It's a thing. It will do. It'll bide me over until the stream is done. No. Fish Child was amazing. Fish Grandchild was the problem. It happens, old dragon, it happens. It's going to be a strange stream while I vote to actually help Kika. I mean, there's no guarantee you will. You might still decide to try and overthrow me. I wouldn't recommend it, though, because having someone on your side is typically a good thing. It's typically a good thing. Fish Child was not a fish. That wasn't my fault, Alias. I couldn't determine that. That's the game doing that. That was the game's fault. I did not say that you were disappointed, Kika, but Fish Child was amazing! Thank you, Vespias, there for 14 months. That is ever so kind of you. Thank you. I think the Patricians should win today. Well, I don't want the Patricians to win today, being quite blunt. But they did win. That's the thing, Farsight. They did end up winning. And that's clearly, I mean, let's be blunt here. The nobles didn't care what happened to the land. The nobles had 15 years of general prosperity. Sure, the rest of the realm was in trouble, but they were fine. They were alright. And yet, I keep losing my property. Well, you just gotta take better care of it, Andy. Just don't have your vineyards infested with hordlings. Stupid consequences for my actions affecting my stupid future. I saw how, despite being a vampire. Oh, my prison. Don't forget my prison. That is true. Well, you might be in some luck, Godly Hero, today, as there is a particular victory path I'd like to try and do. We worship bees now, actually. Hello there, everyone. I hope you are all doing well that has just showed up. Are you now filled with bees? They might, in fact, have been filled with bees. But this is fine. So, if you're curious, it's Queen Fabia. Queen Fabia of the Grandees, I might add. So we have the grandees with a vested interest. Yeah, it is indeed the Buck Rampage dynasty. Fabia Buck Rampage. Fabia Buck Rampage. Marine squad deployed. Thank you very much there, Deus. Let's let some people join. My life for Buck Rampage. There is Fabia. Now, remember, grandees. You put this monarch on the throne. No, same dynasty. Same dynasty. I'd like to, at the very least, see the victory I'm going for. It would be interesting. You put this monarch on the throne so you can help take it off again. But why? Why would you do that? Surely you would want to keep power as long as possible by keeping this person on the throne. What if they like the next claimant more, though? It's easier to keep someone on the throne than it is to throw them off. And to be honest, don't you want to see a military victory? Because that's what I'm probably going to be striving for. If you want to see new content, this is the best way to do it. Yeah, you haven't seen that one yet. We could overthrow you. You could, but then you won't see that content. I mean, maybe. Who knows? I'd have to see how it goes. And you'd have to try and make it happen. Tag everyone's... No, you've got to keep military up. Don't make... Because, here's the thing. Yippee! And there's Trento there with 51 months and a 51-month streak. Thank you. Let's see if Queen Fabia has a happy time. The problem is... Thank you very much. If you don't, then I could just pivot into something that will work. Because something will be high, and then I'll be able to just do that instead. Because I'll tell you what, I've done pretty well at being able to last until an heir is picked. So who knows? I haven't lost by something dropping to 0 either. So that could be intriguing. That could be intriguing. I haven't lost that way. But who knows? It will be intriguing. I will see how long my throat manages to last with the stream. Time will tell, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Remember, grandees, this is your queen. You put her there. It happens. We lost a 60% roll. We lost a 60% roll. These things happen. You lose a 60% roll 40% of the time. No, it was 60. It was 90 for the second part of the ambition. It was only 60 for the battle. It wasn't 90. It was 60. So, we shall give it one more minute after 7 and we will see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see how my voice handles it. It might not. Which will make tomorrow's recording interesting, because, I still have to record. Like, come what may, that'll still happen. Like, if I don't record, I don't get anything. Kinda need that to happen. Hello, Yonkakai, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. It's not that I work hard for everybody, it's that I work hard to live. Yes, they are. They got killed last time. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Arcane Rogue. That is not gonna happen. So, Kingdom as it was last time. Military might actually be incredibly difficult, though. In fact, none of these seem especially easy. Well, let's get started. First with the council introductions. The ninth has smiled upon us, and our plans have come to fruition. Verily, there is much to celebrate. Now remember your duty. You must ensure the Grandee's interests are enforced throughout the kingdom. Ninth bless the south. Indeed, ninth bless us all. Now introduce yourselves to the rest of the council, but don't forget what I told you today. Yeah, I don't have honey, and I am not going to be drinking milk. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Majesty. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. And the patricians. A pleasure, Your Esteemed Highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under our reign. And guess what? The council hall immediately fills with raised voices. Meanwhile, what do you think? Will she be a good little queen and do as she's told? Too early to tell. We should have a backup plan just in case. Let's go with that coronation malark. Your Majesty, you may have won the throne from Monarch Veronica IV, but you must still answer to the council. As is tradition, they will decide what happens at your coronation. Let's get this over with then. Shall we call the nobles in? We do not have money for the foreign dignitaries. I mean, we have to get tradition done here. That said, D might end up getting voted on. But I don't think it will. Don't we want military? Yes, but I know exactly what will happen if I don't get thrown, if I don't have people, yeah, if I don't vote in the river, it doesn't matter anyway. No one is going to vote for D. Everyone, like, even half the patrician, the grandees, voted for throwing me in the river. So... it's tradition, yep. It's been decided. The queen will be thrown into the river. Begins. They pick you up and throw you into the water. And once again, I am proud. What's the patrician's goal? I don't know. Game hasn't started yet. We're in the first season. Your Majesty, the history books don't look kindly upon usurpers. Unless, of course, they prove themselves worthy of a throne they have stolen. When you die, how will you hope the kingdom will remember you? As a conqueror is going to be really, really difficult. Like, really difficult. But we might have to try it. It would be thematically appropriate. That's why we're going for it. A warrior queen is sure to be remembered fondly. If she wins more battles than she loses. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving your military as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Sophia of the Master Gregster lineage, powerful former priest, stands bathed in sunlight, droning on as in a daze. Praise be, Fabia now sits on the throne, the grandees are in charge, but the other regions will already be scheming to depose her. Do we stay loyal to the Queen, or cut our losses and put me on the throne instead? Alright, people. I don't get a say in this, but it's always an interesting game to have the monarch and a faction against the other two. Two of those seem relatively difficult in the long run. Oh! Oh! You worked hard for this, you did. You worked hard for this. Also, the only people that can vote are those of the grandees. No one else gets the vote. So, yeah, you don't get to vote, Yonkai. You're a patrician. Unfortunately. Only the grandees get to vote on grandee things. This isn't your faction, no. Loyalist. That settles it then. Glory to the Queen and glory to the Ninth God. But we could always change our minds. If Fabia ever gets out of line, we could take up arms and rid her the old-fashioned way. The Grandee's goal is to aid the Queen by countering the other region's schemes as much as they can. They will win the game if the Queen produces an heir and completes her ambition. However, if defiance gets too high, they can still change their mind and rise up in rebellion if they choose. Note you started 0 defiance. Meanwhile, Nix of the Neo-Nautilus family, legendary business mogul, scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, explaining in a measured prose. Fellow patrician of the coast, my claim is far more legitimate than that of Queen Fabia. I mean, I didn't overthrow the last person. Something must be done. Raise stability, lower stability, raise authority. Oh dear, these are interesting ones. Oh dear, these are very interesting ones. So I need to lower my stability. Ha! That's going to be novel. We could do that. So, grandees, we've got to keep stability low. The patricians plan to hold the Queen hostage in her own palace. First, they must lull the spy master into a false sense of security. Must raise their stability to 5 or more in 4 seasons. So we need to lose 2 points of stability in a year. We could possibly do that. Meanwhile, Sylvia of the Ghidorah dynasty, well-known Eastern enigma, leans delicately on a podium, sighing. My fellow counts, in ancient times, blah blah blah, we had our own kingdom, blah blah, helped the monarch before, didn't go well, blah blah blah. Now the false Fabia wears the crown. Blood ritual, ascension, possession. I wouldn't recommend A. A is a bad idea. B or C would work. Oh, I think we're going C. Oh, or maybe A. Oh, okay, lowering defiance. Possession. The Counts plan to summon a demon to possess the Queen, putting her totally under their control. First, they must lull the Queen into a false sense of security. You have not seen the final thing for possession. They are a doozy. To advance this scheme, you must lower their defiance to 4 or less in 2 seasons. The final thing for the Counts is an absolute doozy. Alright, here are the plans. Possession, intimidation, loyalist. Laws of the land. I feel like we need Monarch's Iron Choice here. We need that so that we can potentially raise our authority so that we can not go and crash and burn. A new trend, the Honor Guard, Saint or Sinner? Let's go with this new trend, shall we? I don't know, Templar. Oh, not again! Lord Patrician Linguistic Dragon 2 is here to see you, Your Majesty. Once again, he wants to sell you a crab. Of course he does. It's the latest trend again, Your Majesty. It just keeps popping up. The patricians have started keeping a species of jeweled crab as a fashionable pet. The creatures are so rare that one can sell for as much as a mansion. Send him away and don't waste my time on like this again. Crabs, honestly, what will this kingdom coming to? We're not even gonna talk to them about this. We're not even gonna no, we're not even gonna humor them. We don't want to talk about crabs. All I'm saying is every grandee claims to have a saint in his ancestry. Your great-great-grandfather was probably a common dullard. Shut your mouth, you hedge-born Elzelwit. His name was Saint Umber, and he defeated the werewolf of Aranjar by turning it to dust in an instant, according to my grandmother. If you're so sure, how about a little wager? A bag of gold says your ancestor was no saint. You're on. What's all this? Count Exum D3K is spreading damnable lies about my great-great-grandfather. If you really think he's a saint, then dig him up. Saints are incorruptible. Even after death, they don't decay. Very well. I request the council's permission to exhume my ancestor or prove his full wrong. Ooh. I mean, I don't mind if you exhume the body. This seems fine. You can do it. Yeah. I want to see what happens. Get the spades. Get the spades. Absolutely. It's an 80% chance this will go well. We're not grave robbing, we're proving that they are in fact, you know, a saint. Why do we even keep these records? You never know. Also, the one perk of this is my authority goes up by 1 for it going right. Grant permission for the body to be exhumed. Ninth, bless you, Your Highness. Now, where's my shovel? A few days later, the body is exhumed from its resting place in the southern necropolis. Grandee Nuddlemaster is horrified to discover nothing but a mouldering skeleton. Ha! Some saint! I think you owe me an apology. Egad, I was so sure! Word quickly spreads of the Grandee's Nuddlemaster's humiliation, and the church the church weakens as a result. We tried! We tried, okay? I gave you what you wanted. The permission to try and prove it. Starting to need to go on, I see. We gave it a go. So glad the skeleton has a character model. As is tradition, each region offers a selection of guards. The Celts with the Knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, the Patricians with the Champion Gladiators of the Arena, and the Grandees offer the fiercest battle nuns from the Sisterhood of Steel. Think carefully, Your Majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'd be loyal to coin above all. Your Holiness, the Sisters of Steel are chosen by the Ninth God. Surely they will be chosen by you as well. I mean, honestly, this might be the best idea. because I want the defiance of the counts to go up. He's looking good for a deck. He got better. He got very better. I have made my decision. I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. We are going with the Southern Battle Nuns. I will make the arrangements at once. The Battle Nuns arrive in the palace a few weeks later. They nod to you silently, their solemn steel mask betraying nothing, before silently filing into formation behind your throne. It's fine. We have the biggest military. By all means, try and go against us. We have 5 military. Even combined, you're less. Alright, okay. Grandees, we want C. Grandees want C. Counts want... Counts actually want... Counts want D. Counts want D, but priority is C. We want the military. Because just in case one of these people decides to have some funny business, we need that military. I see patricians are going for E. Well, there's some good spending going here. Let's hope this holds out. Chat has disconnected for me. That is brilliant. For me only. I can still see you. Ooh. E and D. Oh no. We want C rather than D. We need a bit more money. There we go. No. Okay, that's manageable-ish. Maybe. Ooh. I see the fighting is going on between these three. Just clawing at each other. Clawing. Oh, look at that. Just managed it. The prison and the fortress. Look at that. Money wins. Look at biggest contributor there. 5,000 from Scarlet Lunaire and 8,000 from Ghidorah. What do we have? Ooh! The Abominations finding a spouse. We'll do the finding a spouse first. Don't worry, there'll be more money coming. Your Majesty, it's important to find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men, women? Do you not mind? Let's go with women. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll send out messengers to the most influential nobles of in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. It's Dee's decision. You'll marry the grandees as we agreed before you took the throne, right? Right? We may not. We may not if this gets a bit bigger, but we'll see. The Abomination sounds terrifying. Your Holiness, I have something to confess. A terrible mistake. I was desperate to prove that my ancestor Saint Umber was a saint after all, so I sought out a witch who lived in a giant snail shell in the desert. Of course you did. I paid her to summon my ancestor's spirit back to his old bones, so I could ask him questions about his sainthood. But the ritual went wrong. My ancestor rose as a living skeleton. He killed the witch and ran off into the night. You fool! Dark magic? Necromancy? I should have you burned at the stake for this abomination! Oh, this is bad! B? B is the most likely one to work. B is the most likely one to work. Faction check? Lake Lock, you're a patrician. Your goal is to keep stability at 5. So actually, the patricians want B. Because otherwise, stability goes down to 4, and their thing doesn't actually progress. So the patricians want B. And I imagine so do the grandees. Because you don't want stability to go down to 4. I'll keep stability low forever. That will not be hard. Lowering stability is easy. Yeah, we absolutely want to do this. We want to try hunt down those zombies. Come on, let's hunt down a zombie. The worst thing that could happen is miserable failure. I know, but no. Yeah, but it's a skeleton infused with magic powers. It could be bad. Also, we might not find it. We failed an 80%. Will we fail a 60%? Might be a lich, true. Grandee Nettlemaster gathers up a full force of troops and rides out into the desert to hunt down his undead creation. None of them are ever seen again. Darn it! Months later, a scattering of bleached bones and rusted armor are discovered underneath a sand dune. Grandee Nettlemaster and his soldiers marched in circle for days before succumbing to thirst. Soon rumors are spread about a dead saint in the desert, a wandering skeleton wearing nothing but rags, who has attracted a rabble of mad followers. The dead saint preaches that the modern grandees have fallen from grace. After all, they brought him back with necromancy. What more evidence does he need? His fanatical followers launch surprise raids on southern troops, flaming arrows in the night, throats cut in the barracks, supply lines disrupted, and caravans set alight. Oh look! The stability went down anyway. The Skeleton Saint, as he's become known, will be a thorn in the Grandee's side for many years to come. It's fine! We'll be fine! What's this? Your Majesty, I approach you with a delicate matter. This is going to be embarrassing, isn't it? For many years, a monk by the East by the name of Gildenferth has been writing a history of the kingdom, but I regret to say his assessment of your predecessor was nauseating in its obsequiousness. How so? It's flattering to the point of absurdity, Your Majesty. He describes the previous monarch as having the wisdom of 60 sages and the cheekbones of a young god. Remember when we paid this guy? Ages ago? To make a flattering image of us? Yeah, that happened. Since your family usurped the previous monarch, this makes you look very bad by comparison. Why is he writing such things? Who knows? I think he's being unbiased. He thinks he's being unbiased. Apparently, it's the result of his research. We must assemble the council. Ooh. Okay. Oh. We could just arrest him. We could just arrest him. Do you know the only one I'm not going to do? That one. Every other one is fine. But that one, no. Every other one is fine. But not that one. D is amazingly... Reward him for his accurate history! Oh, this is going to be amusing. We're going to be very low on money. We can get that money back, though. We can get that money back. We won't be able to get it back. They don't get the money back. It's fine. We don't lose authority for this. By publicly offering Gildefrith their patronage, you change the narrative around his book. If his praise of your predecessor has your full support, it's no longer as damaging to you. The book attracts admiration from monks and scholars throughout the East, and the reputation of the church grows. Okay, so we're very poor. However, we were never going to be able to stop this. Hidden in a labyrinth beneath an eastern castle, a pair of counts meet to speak of their schemes against the Queen. The Chancellor sent me a fruit basket last week to thank us for our efforts in helping the crown. It's working! Our reputation is secure. Our problem now is the Archbishop. His beady little eyes will be focused on us if we're not careful. You must evade him at all costs. Must lower faith to 4 or less in 4 seasons. Right, we need to raise the Count's faith. So inadvertently, doing B was beneficial to us. Alright, Well, this is going to be tricky. I need money is the problem. Have my cash your lead. How much money do you all have, though, is the problem. Ooh. There's a big amount of money amongst everyone else, though. Oh. My armies are not very impressive. Ah, Defiance of Counts is over. They now have a faith thing. However, these guys could take it. That's fine. Oh no, not the crab bubble! Ah! Egads! I've found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young woman from each of the 3 kingdoms. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. I know. The Chancellor leads you to the Great Hall. Let's have a look at these candidates. First, this is Nymphadora, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Black Rabbit 13 dynasty. She's a good-looking one, eh? Not a bad word said about her. Everyone likes her. Spends most of her time as a fencing master, mastering the blade. I've heard rumors she's training herself for some epic confrontation with an old rival. Alright, who else do we have? From the coast, we have Irina, a wealthy heiress to Lady Patrician Thrithland's estate. She's got a reputation for honesty and fair-mindedness. That's rare along the coast. Her interests are typical of the coast: money, 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 and making more of it. But to her credit, she gives a lot of it to charity. So long, godly hero. Finally, for the south, Zeremia.
A treasure chest
Ooh,
full of
there's
riches,
godly hero
and it's
suddenly
all
with 1,000
mine.
bits. Thank you
I
ever so
mean,
much. That is so
ours.
absurdly kind of you. Thank you. That is really kind. Thank you. Prone to depressive episodes, apparently, which she means well. Like many of herself, she claims to put her faith in a 9th god above all worldly concerns. And she's got grand plans by all accounts. She wants to change the world. Not bad at all. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. Ooh, okay. So... the Grandees one is interested in faith, you're interested in trade. And you are interested in... fighting. Oh, but my fighting is so awful. Yeah, I know, but my fighting is so awful, but I have to make my decision. We will be going with Nymphadora of the East. I'll make the arrangements. That gets you... but... we can maybe do something about that. Meanwhile, the crab bubble. Your bad news, Your Majesty. The reef has been discovered, which is overflowing once again with millions of crabs. Oh no, how could this be? The entire kingdom will suffer financially. Curiously, Lord British Linguistic Dragon sold all their crabs at a huge profit. Something must be done. We summon the council to discuss the crab prices. Many assembled nobles have invested heavily in the crab market. Oh dear. I mean, this is going to end badly regardless. We need to arrest them. They must be arrested. Arrest Lord Patrician. Punish them for this. Then we can go to trial. Maybe they can go to the Urbis 83. Except as opposed to me. I mean, this is definitely going to mean that the patricians are in some trouble. I'm innocent. Innocent, I tell you. Are you now? I call shenanigans here. Oh, we did jail last time. That did not work. Arrest him. Your soldiers storm Lord Patrician Linguistic's opulent mansion, arresting him and confiscating his ill-gotten crab gold. Ooh, they're mad. Outraged patricians protest that your actions are illegal and make a mockery of the law. Don't they know you're the queen? Meanwhile, an invasion. Oh. Your August Majesty, we're being overrun. Not by sword and spear, mind you, but by rabbits. A particularly virulent breed of cursed dire rabbits, to be precise. They terrorize our farmland and rip up our crops, and they breed like, well, rabbits. The council must do something. They're not even made of ham, my queen. How can we have something roaming around the kingdoms that is not made of ham? We could introduce a new species. We are not having that one. That one is bad. But bunnies! Hey, what species? No, definitely an invasive species. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? It's a good thing I have lots of money. Look, come on. I want to see what this new species is. The bounty seems perfect. We can start a new industry of rabbit breeding. Maybe. If you're going to confiscate my gold, you can at least vote to drain it. Exactly! But it looks like we're putting a large bounty on them instead. Oh, it's going to go really interesting. Large bounty. You declare all intrepid hunters of the coast. The queen will pay well for every hide. The scheme is a success. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of nobles and peasants alike present you with their trophies. The treasury suffers, but you can afford it. The patricians are appreciative. Not only did you solve their rabbit problem, but they also gained some pocket money for their trouble. Hey, look at that! Dealing with problems, sorting out stuff. It's what I do. Deep in the back rooms of the royal palace, the southern grandees are poring over secret letters and scribbled diagrams. On the wall is a corkboard filled with pins and crisscrossed by coloured string. The queen has finally found a match, even if it isn't who we'd hoped. Now we just need to get on with the wedding. Indeed. And then on to producing an heir. The council have been unusually quiet recently. They've been trying to get into the queen's good books, but I can't figure out why. Then we've got to keep up our efforts. Queen Fabia isn't going anywhere on our watch. The grandees must continue to aid the queen by countering the other region's schemes. They will win the game if the queen produces an heir and completes her ambition. Well, we don't want that one this time. We want the golden choice. We want to get rid of the monarch's vote. Oh, low on lumber, vultures, the royal wedding. Let's do the royal wedding first, shall we? Your wedding to Nymphadora is, naturally, the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Nymphadora at your side. Do you take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife? I do. Then I now pronounce you queen and wife. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast. And after the feast, a dance. Uh-oh. Your wife Nymphadora laps up the attention, delivering a witty speech which she flatters you outrageously. By the time you find yourself with Nymphadora, it's past midnight and you've never felt more tired. You danced so very beautifully. It was such a wonderful day, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes, you enjoy a long conversation which Nymphadora seemed determined to flatter you relentlessly and agree with everything you say. By night's end, you still don't know who Nymphadora really is. Her real personality is concealed beneath 100 layers of etiquette. You go to your separate bedchambers, still strangers. Oh. Meanwhile, vultures. Greedy Eastern merchants taking advantage of cheap coastal labor, Your Serene Highness, exploiting our natural resources and putting our trading companies out of business. They're vultures. Vultures! Is it really such a problem? It's just business. The Queen will No! The Queen will not buy up the Eastern trading companies. Oh my word, I will not. No. Nay. That is a nope. We are not doing that one. That puts me so close to bankruptcy, it's not even funny. It's just business. Shame I don't have the... Actually, I don't want the 50% one stability one. Kick the counts out and put trading companies back in coastal hands. That could be a thing that happens. We really want faith to go up is the problem. Ooh, that was really close. Selling crabs is just... Oh! I get to pick. Kick out the counts. Dracov's bones! Trust me, those coastal fools will run my companies into the ground! All the eastern companies in the coast are transferred to new ownership. Wine cellars, jewelers, gold mines, perfumeries. It all goes to Lady Patrician Landlockney II. As the months pass, it becomes evident that Count Deus Felix was wrong. The companies continue to make a nice profit, and their new owner spreads the wealth all across the coast. Remember this, patricians. Remember I helped you. That's what you get for copyrighting the Deus Phoenix. Your August Majesty, will you tell these superstitious counts to get over themselves and let us harvest their trees? We need the wood for our craftspeople. I've told you 1,000 times, Lord Patrician, that forest is thoroughly haunted. You'll damn us all if you go logging there. But you sold us a logging contract and said contract has no exclusions for haunting. Your Serene Grace, the Counts can't be allowed to wriggle out of their commitments. Okay, hear me out. D is good for all. Is it really? We could go see. Could go see. I like money. I bet you all like money. Now I have to go with free money. Free money! Really? Yeah! There is a problem with having exceptionally high stability. And that is that it could mean that the counts just automatically win. I kind of don't want that. I kind of don't want an instant win for the counts. Because if I don't find a way to deal with their faith, we have an issue. A hunting reserve? That's not what we asked for. We need lumber, you fools! The Queen Fabia's Friendship Reserve doesn't really get off the ground, so the Count's avoid it out of fear of habit. Still, at least it keeps the patricians from hacking it down. It's fine! Meanwhile, a few miles off the sunny coast, Lord Patrician Spook 205 is invited to his closest confidants aboard his yacht. Ill tidings. The spymaster's still watching us like a miser watches her purse. Not for long. We'll soon give her more important things to worry about than little old us. The Patrician's aim is to raise stability to 5 or more. Managing to juggle them. Need to raise faith. Peasant uprising. Rising tempers! Conte Tivara stumbles into your throne in a frenzy, nursing a bloody nose. Your Majesty! Your Greek consort is out of control! Completely unhinged! Why, I think she's broken my nose! Apologies, Tivaris, but you were insulting my parents. I only spoke the truth. Regardless, you were the one who escalated to violence. I demand recompense for my injury! Enough of this pettiness. You throw Conte Tivaris' accusations out with them. Your wife sneers with satisfaction. Alright folks, we want the crab trial. After months of delay, Lord Patrician Linguistic Dragon 2 is finally due to stand trial for his crab-related market manipulation. You stand accused of perpetrating fraud and tricking hundreds into buying expensive crabs. This will never get tiring, I assure you. How do you plead? I'm guilty only of making money, so I broke a few laws along the way. Is that a crime? Yes, obviously. I pronounce you guilty as charged, and your fate will be decided by the Queen. Hang the scoundrel! Ooh! Yes! The next morning, you stand at your balcony and watch as Lord Patrician Linguistic II is led to the gallows. You're the fools who brought all the bloody things! They were just crabs! Crabs! All I did was make a demand a curse on you all! A curse! His words are cut off as the news tightens. It's fine! It's not fine. A band of peasants has staged an uprising in the south, Your Highness. In the dead of night, they stormed the castle of my good friend Grandi Tentretto. He and his family are currently languishing in their own dungeons. What caused them to rebel? Oh, the usual complaints. The peasants accuse Grandi Tentretto of being too strict in enforcing the Ninth God's doctrine, as if such a thing were possible. How were they able to get in? They bribed some of the guards. They also seem to have brand new, well-forged weapons. Pikes and swords, mostly. I have no idea where they found the money. What are the demands? They want Grandi Tentretto to be stripped of his assets, with his lands divided among the peasantry. In return, the rabble will free him and spare his life. Ooh. Oh. Can I set up a trust fund quickly? Stab, stab! We could try stab, stab. Ironing B would be interesting, because it would mean that we only gain stability, but raises defiance. You know what? No. No. We're going with a stab, stab, stab goal. We are aiming at a military monarch. We want to do military things. Oh my word, the defiance on the patricians is so high. It's a good thing our authority is also high. It's not good. Don't listen to money. Listen to money. Can we have a probability thing work for once? Each one has failed so far. They've all failed. Your army lays a siege and lasts over a month. Disease runs rampant in the camp, causing hundreds of soldiers to die or desert. And there's Sint already with a party of 5. Thank you ever so much. We've done really badly with all these. The siege drags on and on. By the time the soldiers finally take the castle, Gandhi Tintretto has starved to death in his own dungeon. The peasant rabble are hanged, but it won't bring Tintretto back to life. The other grandees blame you for the incompetence. Of course, they mutter that you're a weak queen who can't handle a few uppity peasants. We're doing really good. We are... I mean... We're gonna change, obviously. Ooh! Oh, okay! Okay, grandees and patricians, may I recommend A? Because A stops the counts. A stops the counts dead in their tracks. And anything else, except E. Because he's a very difficult option. It does! A and B, A and E both seem like good options. You know what? Sure. B and E. No, not B. A. We need A. A. Do you want the counts to win? Oh dear. I mean, B and A is an option. We just need someone to put like 10,000 into E. Or, yeah, you know, 10... No. Wait, 10,000 into E would be bad. 10,000 into E and like 5,000 into A. I think we're going to end up with a net 0. This is going to be a problem. There's also another problem. There's a bigger problem, but I think I can deal with it. Possibly. I can't deal with it. Well, time's up. Nothing happened. That's a thing that could happen. We just need to lower... About my heir. Your marriage to Nymphadora has grown stale. You get along well enough, but you made some good memories, but there's no spark. She cares more about perfecting her combat skills than your happiness, but spark or no spark, you still need an heir. Congratulations are in order. The royal wedding was a magnificent affair. But something's still missing. You need an heir. You need someone young, whose loyalty is assured. A child of your own would do a trick, even if they're legitimate, or the youngest of many cousins. We'll have a child together! So long. Okay, a terrible secret. Ooh. Your Majesty, I have urgent news. The Counts are deliberately eroding the power of the Church in the East. I fear the Church was in trouble. We have been in decline, alas, and now we know why, which is the worst part of all. The Counts are planning to hollow your mind and summon a demon to fill the void and take possession. By the time we are finished, you'll be nothing but a shell. The demon will take over body and soul. By the ninth god! Well, I thought exactly, Your Majesty. We must bring a sacrilege to the Council's attention. I mean, we could spread the word about the dangers of demons. Guys, you don't want the Counts to win, do you? You don't want the Counts to win, do you? Counts are like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I voted for money. That's a good choice. Vote for money. I really don't want to be hollowed out and turned into a demon. Spread the word about the dangers of demons. All across the kingdom, priests deliver impassioned sermons on the dangers of the seventh god's agents. More and more citizens flock to the church, and peasants place holy symbols in windows to protect their homes from demonic influence. But many nobles grumble about the Queen meddling in official matters. Is Queen Fabia in charge, or the Inquisition? What about eaten by a tree? Hang on. Your esteemed Highness, Lord Patrician the Hidden Boss has gone missing in the Queen Fabia Friendship Reserve. His servants say he was eaten by a tree. I warned you, didn't I? Those trees are clearly possessed by evil spirits of the primordial East. Looks like the Counts were right after all. Your August Majesty, please! We need to burn this stupid grove to the ground before more people go missing. You won't go anywhere near it if you know what's good for you. Oh! Set fire to the forest is a really bad idea. But you know what? We could try. I'm not burning it down. I'm not burning it down. No. We're gonna fail another roll. This is gonna be the most unlucky monarch we've ever had. I guarantee it to you, this monarch is gonna go down burning in failure at this rate. I should not have gone military. I should have gone religion. Or authority. Authority would have been good. I spent my money on spite. This 40% won't work. We've not succeeded a single percentage roll yet. You can't just chop our trees down. This is all your fault to begin with, Nebula Scorn. We can and we will. Time to avenge Lord Patrician, the Hidden Boss. Meanwhile, posters and flyers are set up across all the kingdom. Free magical lumber! Claim your complimentary wood axe from your local constabulary. Lifelessness not guaranteed. Hordes of lumberjacks, timber barons, tree fellas, and general axe-wielding nature haters descend on, much to the misfortune of the tree grove. Admittedly, the trees put up more of a fight than most. Dozens of would-be entrepreneurs end their lives in a pool of bone-dissolving sap. But it's not enough. A few months later, the grove is no more. Whatever ancient secrets it held are lost to time, and the lumber is shipped across the kingdom. The Archbishop claims it is a religious victory over the remaining abominations of the Cursed Age. Hooray! We actually succeeded at something! A count rides into a remote, unremarkable spot of moorland. Soon another joins him. Unfortunately, my peasants are getting dreadfully devout. We're in no state to make a move against the Queen. It's far too dangerous. The High Inquisitor will pounce as soon as we do anything. The Count's aim is to lower their faith to 4 or less. The question is, if you rebel, will you win? We'll find out, won't we? I mean, if you're gonna rebel, I might as well take your money from you anyway. Would you like a bit of a tax break, Counts? City in flames, horror in the east, a treasure hoard. Ooh. Your Majesty, I received a letter from Count Mistuan. There's trouble brewing. So? It's serious. An insurrection. It all started when the peasants got hungry. They've surrounded Count Mistuan's keep and are demanding he give up his riches. Does he have riches to give up? According to the peasants, his great-great-great-grandfather was quite a collector of antiquities. He asks the council to send aid. 20%! I mean, I could give the... You know, we could give you money to do it. We could give money to do it. Look, let's be real here. 20% ain't working. I know that's authority. I'm gonna need it when the rebellion happens. I'm gonna need it when the rebellion inevitably happens next season. Oh boy, this has been a catastrophe. Remember, Iron Choices does not give you free money. It doesn't, but it may mean that we don't perish. We don't have a lot of cash right now, but we're gonna try our best. This is gonna go horrendously wrong. Give them the money. You send a bag of gold to Count Mystery One, who distributes it amongst the delighted peasants. The treasurer looks pained when she next goes through the books, but she'll have to deal with it. Horror in the East. Your Grace, a monster has been stalking my farms at night, smashing down the doors of cottages and feasting on the peasants inside. How many victims? Dozens, Your Grace, and only a few have survived the attacks. The survivors tell a garbled story about gleaming fangs amid a mountain of blood-soaked fur. Oh. No! Absolutely not! 5% ain't happening. C might be interesting. Or B. It's all bad, really. It's all bad. This bounty could bankrupt us. Which would be amazing, because then you'd all vote on who'd be the next monarch. Let's find out! The bounty is placed. Hopefully some enterprising monster slayer will claim it soon. Meanwhile, a city in flames. Your Majesty, there's been a terrible fire in the city of Tinameska. Where once there were buildings, there is now a field of smouldering ash. Dozens of peasants have died. What caused the fire? Filled with religious conviction, the townsfolk seized a travelling wizard and attempted to burn him at the stake for practicing dark magic. He walked out the city unharmed. The same cannot be said for those who tried to burn him. That's why you never tangle with wizards. I was hoping the council might unlock some funds for the treasury so we could rebuild. You really think I'm going to do that? We need our military. We have to do this. We cannot do this. We need that military. You'll thank me later, counts and grandees. You'll thank me later. We have to work on our military really badly. Yeah, the grandees are cursed with foul luck. You send word to the grandees that they will be expected to help rebuild the city on their own, without the Queen's help. By the 9th! What's the point of having a queen in the first place? Meanwhile... well, I mean, I'm not going to pick any of those. So yeah, there's maybe a rebellion happening. Keep them sweet! Rebellion! Sure. At long last, the patricians have reached their boiling point. You're confronted on your throne room by noble patrician Gnosis Doc, their smile gleaming in the light of the braziers. The patricians of the coast will bring you down, pretender to the throne. We will rise up and fight for Nyx, the true monarch. This is a formal declaration of war. The next time we see each other, we'll be on the battlefield. One day I will see your head on a spike. There will be many heads on spikes before this war is over. Mine will not be among them. Strides from your throne room without looking back. Didn't expect you to move so boldly, Your Majesty. What are our chances? Pretty good. The British are not exactly a military powerhouse. I hope they don't persuade any other regions to join the rebellion. That would be disastrous. How did things get this bad? To these the rebellion is Lord Patrician, the hidden boss too. The reason for the uprising is citing your past transgressions, mainly executing linguistic dragon two for selling crabs. But it's a murder rising. Yes, Your Majesty. Hold on to that feeling. You'll need it. The kingdom is divided. You see a lot of death and suffering before this is all over. I can't wait! I'll go dig out the trebuchets.
Ooh, a pouch of
They
gold.
were just crabs, indeed. Yeah, I'll take any excuse. Do you smell that, my friend? Sorry, I think I stepped in some... That's freedom you could smell! Freedom from the mad tyrant Queen Fabia. At long last, we've risen up against her oppression. But if we want to keep our freedom, we must fight for it. I ask you, my fellow patricians, what will be our opening strike against the Queen? We can launch a preemptive strike against the Counts to cripple their military capabilities. If we suspect the Grandees may join our cause, we can call them to war. They'll be more likely to join us if the Queen's authority is low. I don't recommend you do that. We could also call upon the Church to condemn the Queen. Or finally, you could just send off an assassin to nip us in the bud. 50, 40, 40 and 70 and 750. I mean, trust me, I'm working for this victory here. You're all working just to kill me immediately, though. Ooh dear. They're not 100% chances. Someone sent an assassin. Two of those are 100% chances. I suppose that's true. Fortunately, they went with money. Thank you for meeting with me at such short notice. The sum you offered piqued my interest. You understand why the sum is so high, though? Yes, you want me to assassinate the Queen. It is no trouble. I am a child of the Viper. If you have the gold, and you want a woman dead, she's dead. Get it done. Meanwhile... You must have noticed the Grandees aren't happy, Your Majesty. The rebels have a keen eye, and they'll take advantage of the situation. If the South joins the rebellion, we'll be in serious trouble. It's high time you ask the Grandees directly what they need. Very well. When you call the council, the Grandees whisper amongst themselves, glancing in your direction. I trust this session will be a productive one, Your Holiness. The last few have been... very long. What's there to complain about? We're all working together, aren't we? I just hope we can all have a productive time. Oh dear. I mean, B is... Probably... What do we go with here? 20 is practically 100. No! It is not! We've passed one skill check. Yep. Don't worry, I ended up with money without money too. Trusted us Grandees. You're okay. Alright. Trusted the Grandees. See, this is what happens when you get our terrible loyalty. You also get our terrible luck. Oh, we're doing this. This is gloriously terrible. Here comes the terrible. Can't complain. Can't complain. This is fun. Yeah, you might, but you might not. We got authority. When you place a group... When you place a group of Grandees in charge of an emergency advisory committee, they're very pleased indeed. Several weeks later, the Marshal comes to see you. Those grandees have a decent head for strategy. They've dug up their records and found old steel-making techniques to help hone our weapons. They're looking very sharp. Urgh! Loyalist 1! Oh, I like that! Meanwhile... Oh dear. Okay, we have 1! That's good. We have 1. Okay. Your heir, a great battle, something's wrong. Let's start with the heir stuff first. The heir is finally complete. You stand before the council holding a child. Should I die, the crown will be passed to... my son. Yay, polite applause, there's a rebellion happening. You've cemented your stability. Your Majesty may be the first to congratulate you. What's their name? Fabia 2. How exquisite, Your Grace. I'm sure little Fabio 2 will grow up to be a chip off the old block. Congratulations on fighting an heir. Oh boy, everything's on fire. Let's do that great battle now. Vast armies darken the landscape like shadows of clouds. Flags are flying, drums are pounding in rhythm with the marching of boots. The kingdom is gripped in civil war! At least that's what you imagine. Most of your time is spent in the safety of the palace, poring over a giant map with your marshal. Your Majesty, the armies of the coast are advancing on the capital, led by the treacherous Curl or Patrician the Hidden Boss 2. I've received word from the commander of our loyalist forces in the south. If they march now, they'll intercept the Patrician in a matter of days. Alternatively, they could join forces with the army of the east. It's risky, but together they'll have a high chance of defeating the accursed Patricians. What's your orders, Your Majesty? They need to join forces. Very well, Your Majesty. I'll relay your orders to Grandee Daffyd MacBrien, the commander of the field. Hopefully they'll do as you're told. God knows treachery can thrive on a battlefield. We have our orders, but should we follow them? I trusted you, Grandees. I trusted you. I trusted you. Remember that. You made me go for the 20% and I said yes. The glory of... We're going to win a civil war. That'll be glorious. I've not won a civil war yet. We're not going to win. We're going to lose so badly. Ah, I'm glad. We might die to the assassin, though. All this and we might die to the assassin. The whole city holds its breath. You stew in your palace, waiting for the marshal's return. Finally, she arrives at the throne room, looking perfectly composed. Your Majesty has ordered. The Grandees have turned their army around to link up with the Counts. I hope it was the right decision. Have some confidence, Your Majesty. Too late for doubts now. It'll all come down to the next battle, Your Majesty. The fate of the kingdom lies in the balance. We will prevail. That's the spirit. Now I really must be going. I have a lot to take care of, and you have to get murdered by an assassin. Over the next few weeks, it becomes clear the Southern Army's retreat has given the Patricians free rein to pillage and plunder the South. The rampaging coastal troops descend on farms like locusts, taking everything to feed thousands of hungry soldiers. Meanwhile, shops, churches, and loot manors are plundered, and the stolen loot shipped back to the coast. But while the South suffers, the Southern forces successfully link up with the Counts. Now the joint army of the Grandees and the Counts rush to meet the Patricians in open warfare, and the winner will either end your reign or preserve it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get stabbed. It's an evening like any other. You're sitting for dinner, your servants heaping your table with dishes fit for a queen, goose, tongue pie, roast boar, jelly pigeon. As usual, your wife has taken her seat beside you and is tucking in with gusto. And of course, your wine glass is never empty. Let's take a swig. Before you could drink, one of the southern battle nuns snatches the glass from your hand. Of course, each time your drink is refreshed, your honor guard take the first sip in case of poison. It's highly annoying. For the first time you can remember, the battle nun breaks her vow of silence. Her voice creaks from her throat like a cemetery gate swinging shut. Boy, son. Before your astonished eyes, the honor guard who sipped your drink turns a distressing shade of purple. Then her eyes begin bugging out like an excited pug. Quick, fetch the physician! Ignoring you entirely, she starts swelling. Swelling and swelling and swelling until... Pop! She explodes, showering us, all the other guard, not to mention a few of your servants, with a foul-smelling purple liquid. Fortunately for your laundry staff, none of it splashes on you. Neither save us! As you speak, your voice dies in your throat. One by one, the rest of your slime-soaked honor guards are turning purple. Get your wife to safety. You grab your wife by the hand and drag her from the dining hall. Oh, you saved me! Behind you, there's a series of grotesque pops as your honor guards and servants explode, one by one, until there's nobody left. A few hours later, you go over the horrific events at dinner with your spy master. Your Majesty, that must have been terribly disturbing. The popping. The horrible popping. Calm down, Your Majesty. The danger has passed. It was a very rare kind of contagious poison, known as Ainwick's Cascader. It causes the drink to explode, and whoever is touched by the remains also explodes. As you can imagine, the results can be catastrophic. We were lucky that only your honor guards and a few servants died. Who did this? One of the children of the Viper, the most feared assassins in the kingdom, no doubt hired by your enemies in the coast. Ainwick's Cascader is one of your specialties, intended for causing maximum chaos. We're still not sure how they accessed the wine cellar, but as a precaution, we're pouring away the rest of your stock. Even the very best vintages. The gutters will flow with red and white tonight. Thank you, Spy Master. We must be especially vigilant from now on, Your Majesty. Oh, if we'd have lost our battle nuns, that would have gone so badly. It probably has a very limited shelf life, Ghidorah, so eventually it becomes inert and non-poisonous. I need some time to process this. Of course, Your Majesty. The magicians will stop at nothing, even murder, to bring you down. Thank the Ninth, your honor guard. May they rest in peace. Things could have gone very differently. Ooh! Oh, we are saved by the honor guard existing. That is good. End season. None of these really matter right now. Except we probably don't want F. By the way, the patricians don't get to vote on this because, or do you get to vote on it? You might. I don't know. Do you? I don't remember. You might. You do. Oh, because it's just building stuff. Ah, that makes sense. None of this really helps you, though. Oh, yeah. Everybody... Yeah, A is one we don't want. Anything but A, please. Like, we need a lot of money on something else, but we're not going to make it. Cheers for not seeing that. It's alright. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop it anyway. However, good luck dealing with the rest of it. It'll be interesting. I'm not sure you could... We'll see what happens. That's fine. Rebellion report. Can't start currently. The final battle, the Monster Slayer, an unexpected opportunity. Let's go with this unexpected opportunity. Your Majesty, as the patricians were marching through the south, they were hit by a fierce rainstorm. Unable to progress through the mud, they've set up camp beneath the Tarada River. So we're sitting ducks. Precisely. We must strike. Don't be foolish, Marcel. Do you think our own troops are immune to the weather? We'll have the same problems. If I may suggest another option, Your Majesty, the patricians are drawing all their water from the Tarada River. If we were to poison it upstream, their troops would suffer greatly. By the 9th, that's a dishonourable way to conduct a war. Your Highness, you cannot be seriously condoning this. Where did we get all this poison? If we herd all the cattle from the south into the riverbank upstream and allow their effluents to flow freely into the river, the water will be contaminated. It's hard to fight on an upset stomach. By the above, you're devious. I don't feel comfortable with this, Your Majesty. I need council approval before I proceed. Ambush? Poison? Gotta be honest, we should probably do the ambush. It's the best chance we've got. It's the best chance we've got. What's Honourable Queen pottering out? 60% is practically 100. We've discovered that 20% is 100 and 60% is 0. That's what we've discovered in this playthrough so far. I mean, it's worth a try. It could work. What if they end up with no military? If they end up with no military, do they just automatically fail? That's an interesting thing. Let's give it a go. That's more like it. A good old-fashioned battle as the Ninth intended. Your southern soldiers prove more resilient to the rain than the patricians. They charge into the camp, taking the rebels by surprise and wreak havoc. By the time the patricians have rallied their troops, your soldiers are already melting back among the trees, leaving chaos in their wake. Ha ha! That'll show them! We didn't even need to dishonor ourselves in the process. I maintain it was a perfectly viable strategy. That is an unrelated event. Should we go with the final battle? Should we see how it goes? I think the grandees and the counts have a good chance here. A month ago, battle was averted, but that battle cannot be postponed forever. The grandees and counts are all that stand between the patricians and the capital. A final battle, deciding the fate of the kingdom. I'll send word to the counts that it's time to strike. We can only hope they listen to our orders, Your Majesty. It's a 50% shot. I think we should go for it. It's a coin flip. We lost last time. Maybe we'll win this time. B seems good. I mean, I want to see what happens if we win a rebellion. Almost 100. Alright. Fingers crossed, everyone. Here we go. Of course. When he finally returns, it's not the manner you'd hoped. She carried on your throat on a stretcher, croaking weakly. Torsos covered in blood-soaked bandages. What happened? We caught the patricians in the classic pincer movement. The counts attacked on one side, the grandees on the other. But the patricians occupied a highly defensible hilltop. In my arrogance, I thought our combined forces were enough. But they prepared a few surprises of their own. Hidden archers, burning oil, a feigned retreat. Suddenly turned back. Hit us weren't hurt. They pulled out all the stops. It was a slaughter. All I remember is blood and screams, and so much death. When they found me, I was in a pile of corpses. They say it's a miracle I survived it all. How could this happen? I'm truly sorry that I failed you. If you want to see the year's end, we must build up fortifications, stockpile food, train up a citizens' militia. The magicians will be camped out outside the city walls in a matter of weeks. It's time to pray the Ninth, Your Majesty, because apart from him, we're on our own. Yay! You're cursed, Grandees. You're so cursed. Meanwhile, Monster Slayers. Your Majesty, you offered a bounty of the monster in the east. I've collected it now, but I want to speak to you first. Why? Last week I hunted the beast down, found it feasting on the remnants of some unlucky peasant. Damned creature loped away before I could kill it, so I followed it at a distance. Maybe not, Landlock. The beast made its way back to a grand keep. Before my very eyes, I witnessed this bloodthirsty beast transform into Count Weakflick. Do you know what kind of creature this is? It's some kind of skin shedder, no doubt. A nightmare beast that lives within Count Weakflick's skin and comes out at night. They will have no memory of their crimes, I'm sure. But what should I do? Removing the head would be a good start. I can do the deed for a small fee. I'll send a team of investigators to investigate this claim. Very well, Your Majesty. Whatever you say. I am honored by your trust, Your Highness. A team of inquisitors is dispatched to investigate the claim that Count Weakflick sometimes turns into a monster. Hopefully they'll return intact. The counts, of course, registered their disapproval that the church is meddling with their private affairs. They wanted the matter dealt with, but not like this. Meanwhile, guys, I think I might need the money, just in case I have to hire mercenaries to help us. Okay? I'm sorry, but I need the money. It's 3 against 2. Alright, what do we have? Freezing troops, besieged. Freezing troops. By the 9th, our soldiers are freezing to death. I've never seen such a harsh winter. We need to do something about this soon, or the Queen will tap us with a sword hilt and shatter us into 1,000 pieces. If we pull out now, it'll give the Queen and Loyalists time to recuperate. Dip into our own pockets to purchase better equipment, pull our troops back to recuperate, or send troops to tell troops to maintain the siege. You should probably do A. A makes sense. It's alright though. I have money. Money could buy me people. We're not losing this by being stingy. If there's one thing the patricians have, it's money. It's costly to source equipment quickly and at scale, especially in the middle of a war, but the patricians provide the troops with heavy winter cloaks and hot water bottles for the freezing nights. The siege is maintained, and the freezing becomes a less common cause of death. Meanwhile, Your Majesty, I have received word back from the Inquisitors you sent east to investigate the claims about Count Weakflick and their nocturnal activities. And we placed Count Weakflick in heavy iron chains and waited until nightfall. They transformed into a vicious monster. Black fur, claws like scythes. It broke free and killed a dozen Inquisitors before we subdued it. It is clear that Count Weakflick is a devil worshipper, or was a devil worshipper, cursed by the ninth god for their sins. We request permission to burn them alive in the town square. Do it. Nothing gets the peasants going like a good public burning. You hear protests that Count Weakflick transformed into a monster halfway through. The peasants' belief in the ninth god has been raised to new heights. Such an impressive spectacle, while the counts are furious to be humiliated so publicly. The patricians march through the Crown lands, pillaging and burning. The roads are heaving with refugees and corpses clog the river. Now the capital is surrounded. You stand on the ramparts of your palace. Actually, the fun part is, there's a very good chance that, staring out in dismay, the army camp stretching for miles outside the city. They could absolutely rebel afterwards is the fun part. They don't rebel with you. Get down from there, Your Majesty, if they're lucky with a crossbow bolt. What are we supposed to do? The grandees and the counts are still out there, Your Majesty. Their combined army may have been defeated, but they'll be gathering reinforcements and calling on their reserves. I hope they get there in time. The ninth god will decide our fate. As you finish your sentence, an immense trebuchet hurls a 10-ton boulder towards the capital. It crashes into a nearby clock tower, smashing it to smithereens. Like I said, Your Majesty, you better get inside. Trust me, if we get through this, Counts, I will abide your every request. But right now, this is... You're not going to end up in charge if they win. Just saying that. You're not going to end up in charge. Besides, you can't rebel. The siege grinds on. Another dawn breaks. The great army of the coast sprawls outside your city walls. For the last 3 weeks, they have tried to fight their way in. The siege drags on and your food supplies are dwindling. The streets outside your palace explode in daily riots as the citizens demand to be fed. Don't worry, Fabia. The Counts will be here to save us soon enough. I'm sure of it. As the evening draws in, horns blast outside the city walls. The patricians are mounting a final attack. Okay. My chosen successor! There they are! Hello! They're dead. The sun rises in the city in turmoil. The patricians began their assault last night, and you've heard nothing outside but screams and howls and the clash of blades since. Half the capital is in flames. Soldiers rush back and forth, shouting panicked orders. Yeah, we're in trouble. You haven't seen your marshal since the dawn. Perhaps they're already dead. The royal count's is empty except you, your wife, and your son, cradled in the arms of his nanny. His crying is giving you a headache. I should be out there with a longsword in my hand. I could be making a difference. You're right. Better to go down fighting. I'll fetch my longsword. You wait and stew. Outside the screams and clashes get louder. Finally your spymaster arrives, out of breath, a face stained by smoke and blood. They'll be here any moment, your majesty. You must saddle your horse and escape the city. I know of a secret passage. No. I will stand and fight. Then you will die. It was nice knowing you, your majesty. She is gone in the blink of an eye. Well, no turning back now. That's the woman I married! You walk down the palace steps, your feet slipping on all the blood. A wounded watchman crawls past you, begging for water. The sky is aflame with a deep, malevolent glow. You turn to Nymphadora. If you have anything to say, now's the time. Let's kill them. Yes, let's. A column of hardened coastal soldiers advances down the road, steel armor gleaming in the crimson light of dawn. Lord Patrician, the hidden boss too, is at their head, shouting orders. Come and get some, ya goits! Charge! You and your wife charge forward, weapons raised. It's beautiful. It's glorious. It'll go down in the history books forever. It's over almost instantly. Someone hurls a spear that slams right through your chest and sticks out the other side. You topple from your horse. 1,000 heavy boots march over you, crushing you into paste. But for a moment, you really felt like a queen. Queen Fabia's last doomed, glorious charge against the patricians would go down in history. Not as an especially smart move, but a brave one. Unable to keep their puppet on the throne, the grandees were forced to retreat to the secluded villas and brood. It wouldn't be long before a new southern claimant would rise, and when they did, the grandees would be ready. After losing a civil war, the counts retreated with their blade to within their borders and immediately began plotting against the usurper. The patricians launched a rebellion that toppled the queen and devastated the kingdom. In the aftermath, no one could stop them from taking the throne, and Nyx was crowned to half-hearted cheers from traumatized common folk. The unready. That is absolutely the correct term. You were the unready. Oh, yes. However, it was a glorious reign. A gloriously disastrous reign. The wealthiest noble is fledgling. The poorest is Saprook. So military victory next time. Really? Really? There is no military left! This kingdom is very stable. This kingdom is very religious. But oh my word, it's not stable. That was gloriously dumb. Nyx is going faith, absolutely. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Military should be fine. You can only go up. Not trade. It's kingdom. It's kingdom, not And on average, I think we should try war again. I think that's a disaster waiting to happen. Maybe what you would... Yes, I know, trade is thematic. Trade is thematic, but hey, next time, patricians get their time on the throne. The patricians get their time. Oh my word. If that 50-50 chance, by the way, had gone our way, it would have been a very different story. But it didn't. It didn't. This is fascinating. That was a quick game, though. That was very quick. Ah, 20% right there. It was fun. 50 is practically zero. Yeah, pretty much. That is the VOD title. 50 is practically zero. That is what the VOD title should be. Pressure's gonna bankrupt the entire nation with their next grab craze. Oh my word! It was glorious! It was glorious! So long as I'm not the one next to die, I mean... Yeah, that 90% in a failing. Evolution tells us eventually everything becomes a crab. This is a surprisingly short stream. I'm loath to start the next one, because starting the next one means that we'll start in the middle of one, and the middle of one's always confusing. But that was quick. That was quick and decisive, and probably good for my throat that it was quite quick. Yeah, I need to rest that voice. We tried, Grandies. We tried, Counts. I tried my best, but ultimately, it didn't go well. It didn't go well. Next time, though, the patricians get their time helping me. You know what's actually fun about it? What's fun about it is that every faction that wins then has to work with the monarch in theory. And that makes it an interesting dynamic, because it goes from basically being 2 against 2 rather than 1 against 3. This is what the Pats need to do. You need to... Ooh, okay, Quill 18, we will. But, we're not going to get a, we're not going to get a... we don't have to, but it's fun to do so. Look at how interesting that was because you did so.
Ooh, about
Great stream as always, Kiko. Well, thank you ever so much. I do apologise that it was a bit shorter, but my voice is, it needs a bit of time to recuperate, and I do appreciate, speaking of myself, but I think Counts don't regret this loss, save the increase in faith. Why have we again gone to, like, having 9 faith? Have you considered throwing money at the problem, Your Majesty? I tried. I had a great time. It was fun. It was beautiful, but it was also fun. Because let's face it, we weren't escaping. We weren't escaping from that. We might try a new dynasty at some point with another combination. Maybe not with the Counts. But anyway, thank you, Linguistic. Must swipe for the burning. Yeah, that did a lot. But thank you ever so much, everyone. I know it was a little bit shorter than usual, but it was definitely an interesting one. And when we come back next time, the patricians will be helping me out. Oh, wonder what happened to Veronica, the little baby. Who knows? But there are a couple of things we need to quickly talk about before we conclude. Sure, helping you out. It's Skeleton. You did! A couple of things to quickly talk about before we conclude. First off, there is my website, kikosko.com. We can check out all kinds of things there, including my schedule. We pretend you've done stop. You can also find links away, combine, forget help. Then there's my Discord, where you can join a large and thriving community, which I am often a part of. There are loads of places to talk about stuff there. Loads of emotes based on Let's Plays and streams past and present. And if you link your Twitch and Discord together and you're subbing on Twitch, you can use the Twitch emotes on Discord, which is fantastic. Then there's the Patreon. There you can pledge to support me in doing what I do. There is nothing Let's Play or stream-wise hidden behind paywalls. You got murdered before it was cool, that's true. There's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that you typically don't see, including but not limited to the editing, compression, test streams, and test recording, is everything that makes all what I do a reality. And in these times, I really do rely on the people that pledge to me to make all what I do possible. Those that do not only get a different code name on Discord already, but sincere thanks, they also get to put names forward for the shortlist for the Patreon suggested vote. The Patreons come up with the shortlist, and the entire community votes. The other one, everyone comes up with the shortlist and votes together. We've got to do that now, because I will be recording videos for Stray tomorrow. That's right. Going to be starting that Stray Let's Play soon. Then there is my YouTube, where you could join you could check out all my content. Join all the people that watch it. Both YouTube channels. There is Kikoskia, who has been doing content for nearly 16 years now. On the 30th of this month, I have been doing content for 16 years. Over 10,000 videos on Kikoskia. I'm so old. There's also Kikvodskia, which is the newer channel, which only has the more recent and upcoming Twitch VODs. The goal is to get Kikoski up to 100,000 and kick Vodskia up to 1,000 as a start. When we get there, I'll need to think of something to do to celebrate. But both channels like engagement, and that comes from liking and commenting on the videos, and subscribing if you're not. And if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. Then there's my Twitter, and my Instagram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Discord, and the YouTube community tab. My social medias. I have those, you know. There you can get notifications about when I start streaming when my Let's Play videos go live, and all kinds of random other stuff. But that is not all. There's also my Throne wishlist, which I didn't mention this stream, I do apologise, I tend to mention it at least once. There you can put money towards getting me things that bring me joy. Like, for instance, there's a couple of Warhammer things there, and there is also a Gunpla there too. And if you have other ideas for things, and they're not on that list, there is a suggestion thing if you have a Throne account yourself. Finally, there is me thanking all of you, because seriously, you're all amazing and fantastic and brilliant and wonderful. Couldn't do what I do without you when I wouldn't want to. You are the reason I do what I do. You are just so awesome and supportive and kind and generous, fantastic, and just the greatest and most wholesome community ever. Like, I make the content, but you, the fantastic community that you are, you bring it together and make it awesome. You truly, truly do. And you are just so wonderful and brilliant and just the greatest people ever. And I'm just so happy to have all of you. Seriously, you are just all wonderful. And with your continued support, I'll be able to keep doing this for many, many years to come, as many years as is possible. So thank you ever so much, everyone. Seriously, thank you. I don't thank you for stabbing me in the back, patricians, but it's all a game and it's all silly fun. And you know I'm only joking. We tell a good story, and my was that a good story. It was a disastrous story, but turns out the Grandees could launch a good rebellion, but they can't do it. I bet we would have got events to maybe I think we might have got events to potentially break the siege if we'd have had a military to speak of. But because we didn't, we couldn't. I wonder what would have happened if you didn't have a military either. That would have been interesting. Anyway, whether it be morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you achieve everything that you set out to do. The next stream is tomorrow, 2 PM GMT, Animal Crossing New Horizons. They'll be adorable. They'll be silly. There may be photos handed to us. Because you had no money, you had no options. I had like 1,800. I had a fair bit of money, it just wasn't enough money. But anyway, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Remember, be nice to each other, everyone. For if everyone is nice to each other, the world would be that much better a place. And we all want that, don't we? Well, I certainly do. And I hope you do too. Later. That would be interesting template. That'd be interesting.